Today I'm going to show you some of the trickier aspects of how to build a Chirpy Chicks. So on page 6, just something to point out, when you're gluing this into here, if you have got something that's square or you have a square, just make sure that is square, otherwise it'll give you problems later when it swings if it's not square. And the same goes for the two frames that you've built. Make sure they are square to each other, and if you have got a square, make sure everything's as even as possible. So on page 7, just a little thing to watch out for. When you're gluing that can, make sure you don't glue it at the handle end, you glue it at this end. Just to remember. So on page 12, we're just gluing this shaft inside the chick. Push it through at the bottom, push through that hole, make sure he's flat, and then just tip it up and push through till it's flat there, and you'll just have a little lip there. Then remove and mark there. Pull that out. A bit of glue around and twist as you push that in, and just make sure you have that parallel to the sides and leave to dry. Now we're on page 13, and I just wanted to show you how to glue this frame in place because it's quite difficult to imagine just from the photograph. Lift that up, feed that through there over the top of that can, and bring down, and what we're aiming to do is to glue that in line there. So now just move it back. I'm going to glue there, and I also put some glue just on this back edge. Now that, and the best way to leave it to dry is to now wipe the glue off, line it up, press it there as well, and this should be parallel with that when you're looking down, and then just press hard and leave to dry. So still on page 13, we're going to put this assembly in place. Rub some wax around, then feed it, and you just have to turn it as you get to that peg out and drop that into there. That's that. So on page 14, you've put the two underframes with the table lid, and I just want to show you that. Wax this surface, make sure everything's as square as possible, because you want this piece to be laying flat on there. You don't want it to be raised up, which it might be if you've somehow got this leg not square. Push it well down, and this is the action you should get, nice and free like that. Right, we're on page 16 now. I just wanted to show you how important it is to get this piece really shiny, because it's the piece that goes the bottom of the arm there, and the chicks, the bottom of their shafts run up and over, like no friction at all. So do your wax candle like that, and then if you can find a very fine piece of sandpaper or emery paper, or even wet and dry, and polish and polish and polish until it's absolutely super slippery, and then glue it in place at the bottom there. And then also when you drop the chicks down, which is also shown on that page, they must be free like this. If they're not, keep sanding and waxing them until they will drop down as freely as that. So on page 20, just to show you that, first of all you position this completely centrally under that middle chick. Then a bit of glue in that, but not on the underside, just in the hole, and put it so that 5mm hole is at the back, centrally in line with that chick. Then really sand and wax this so it's absolutely polished, and put a little bit of glue around the bottom. Might be as well to do a dry test run to make sure this does drop like this first. Then glue that in and put a bit of card underneath so you don't glue it to the surface of the board, which you can remove afterwards. And then that should drop like that, and leave to dry. And then once the weight's in place underneath, it should open its beak and close it, and the butterfly should move up and down.